Chapter 15. CAERPHILLY, Abundant Blessing. As Jacob left father and mother with staff only, so did I leave the church for which I had prayed and labored for nearly 40 years, with none of this world's goods but the horse which I rode, and a little money in my pocket, which I could scarcely call my own. So wrote Christmas Evans on his departure from Anglesey. We view him with sorrow. One of the most popular preachers that ever stood in a pulpit, now in the 60th year of his age, bereaved of his beloved wife, in shattered health and sorrow of spirit, wondering what direction to take. He speaks in one of his sermons of days of loneliness and darkness. When I am weak and distressed and alone, and none to receive my tale of sorrow, none to express a word of fellow feeling or of care for me in the living oracles of the gospel, I see divine wisdom and loving kindness looking at me tenderly, compassionately, through the openings of my prison, and I feel that he who dresses the lily of the field and numbers the sparrows is near me, numbering the hairs of my head, listening to all my cries, in all the treasures of his grace and power. He is the same gracious Redeemer and Preserver to everyone that believes in his name. CAERPHILLY, today mainly known for its cheese, was now to be the scene of his labours. It was a poor little village, lying in a mountain valley when Christmas Evans went there. Yet it has its claim to fame. CAERPHILLY Castle, now ruined, was once the largest in Britain next to Windsor. Here King Edward II retreated. From here he escaped in the disguise of a peasant, hiring himself as a farm labourer. Here, at a later period, Owen Glyndwr lived. For many years it was owned by the Spencer family, who plundered the local inhabitants so that it became a symbol of gloom and horror, having an awful tower for prisoners, its walls of wonderful thickness. How came it that Christmas Evans went to CAERPHILLY? It is said that, praying for an opening in Providence, he was visited by a minister who said, "If you are definitely leaving Anglesey, I know of a place for you." What place is it? CAERPHILLY. 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 Write at once and tell them I'll come to CAERPHILLY. He had about 200 miles to travel from Anglesey, a long solitary journey. Yet he wrote, "On my way from Llangefni to Bryn Zion, I felt such tenderness of heart, and that Christ's presence was so near me, that as the coldness of my nature dissolved, I could not refrain from breaking out in supplications and tears. The wrestling lasted for some hours. I had strength given me to entrust myself and my ministry to Jesus Christ with a confidence that raised me above all my troubles. It is almost impossible to realize the interest and excitement caused by his arrival. Until he actually arrived there, there were some who believed he never could leave his beloved Anglesey. It is said that all kinds of people caught up the report. "Christmas Evans is come? Are you sure of it? Yes, quite sure of it. He preached at CAERPHILLY last Sunday. Taking up his abode in the chapel house, cared for by a housekeeper who knew nothing about his mode of life, he was not really happy. South Wales seemed so different to him from North Wales. His friends suggested that he should seek to be guided by another wife. It was even suggested that a person of wealth would be suitable. After a little reflection, the reply was, I tell you, it is my firm opinion that I am never to have any property in the soil of this world until I have a grave. In the end, the name of Mary Evans, the faithful housekeeper for himself and his late wife in Anglesey, was mentioned. This seemed to touch a chord. She was sent for, a faithful friend, travelling with 2 saddled horses and bringing her back with joy, and soon became his wife, taking excellent care of him till his dying day. The marriage took place at Eglwysylyn Church, in the same parish where George Whitfield had been married. Christmas Evans himself gives a few interesting details of his personal life at this time. My health is good, although I have broken one of my legs, which is painless and is mending well. Every month I preach in the following houses in the neighbourhood: Mr. Llewellyn, Bedwas; Mr. Jenkins, Rudry, a man converted from drink since I came here, and a constant listener, but not yet a member, but he is asked for a monthly preaching service in his home. I preach in another house near Taffswell, and in the chapel there every Thursday. One great advantage of this house preaching is that I do not go out to the cold air in perspiration, a great comfort to an old man. Mr. Jones of Pontypridd has given me sufficient hay to feed my pony for this year of scarcity. It is likely that the little one will become 1,000 and the weak a strong race. I have no desire to return to Anglesey. Mrs. Evans has renewed her youth and is full of her first love. She sings as in the days of old. She talks of spiritual things all day long and never tires. His salary was now £40 a year, 77 pence a week, and his house free from rent or rates. It was under the same roof as the chapel. In addition, there was a small field in which he kept his pony. His ministry at CAERPHILLY was abundantly blessed. There was such an unction upon his ministry, and the sanctifying effect of the deep sorrows through which he had passed was clearly witnessed. He wrote, "The Spirit descended upon the church at CAERPHILLY, and we united to seek in the name of Christ an outpouring of divine influence."